I say,
one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, black fish, blue fish, old fish, blue fish.
For a while now, Drake has had a special place in my heart when it comes to music. And I'm not gonna lie, when the whole Kendrick Drake beef was happening, I was 110% on Kendrick's side. But ever since then, something shifted in my brain, and I started to appreciate this musical mastermind we call Drake. So I decided, as the genius commentator I am, I will go back and listen to all of Drake's albums to tell y'all what is undoubtedly Drizzy's best work, and what he could have left in the vault. Now, first off, the way I'm gonna be doing this ranking pretty much follows the same structure as the Generosity's Kanye album ranking, where essentially I will only be ranking solo albums, meaning no What a Time to Be Alive, Her Loss, or Some Sexy Songs for You. I will also only be including official studio albums, meaning no Dark Lane demo tapes, Care Package, More Life, or So Far Gone. Second off, this is my opinion, so please don't go doxing me if I put your favorite album in a spot you don't agree with. Y'all can feel free to post your own rankings in the comment section, but this is my video, so I get to place these albums wherever the hell I want. Now that all that's out of the way, let me introduce to you Ja Rule's official Drake album ranking.
hey, woman hanging on my neck. The bracelet matches the set. My brother named is $10. Stop all that back and forth over the net.
For all the Drake fans out there, I know this was to be expected, and some of y'all are gonna yell at me for this being overhated. And honestly, never mind. See what I did there? No, I'm sorry. Don't click off the video. Look, don't get me wrong. I understand what this album was meant to be. It's for the club and it served its purpose. But that being said, I think Drake has a lot better to offer in his discography. He was on his experimental team with this one. And hey, once you at that level as an artist, do whatever the hell you want, man. This one just personally ain't for me, or like anybody else that listened to the album. My highlights for the album are Sticky and Jimmy Cooks, and my lowlights are low-key everything else. I damn near couldn't stay awake listening to this shit. All it is Drake going,
I'm heartbroken and I'm rich, and this album sounds like shit.
4.5 out of 10. Moving on.
Treat you like princess, rest in heaven, Diana.
Scorpion was Drake's 5th studio album and 3rd best-selling in his catalog. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Scorpion has always been one of those albums that I never had any interest in truly listening to. Partly because in 2018, you couldn't go 2 seconds without hearing, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you'll never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. And partly because it always gave me the vibe of unauthentic cash-grabbing Drake. Which, now that I've gone back and listened to the full thing, I wasn't completely wrong to think so. However, there are definitely some bangers in here, and we get to see a little flow state Drizzy. I also liked some of the more R&B singing songs on here. There were just a lot of songs that felt like straight up filler and repeated the same basic format. And for all the Drake haters in the comments that are gonna say, isn't that all Drake songs? Suck my dick. And overall, I did like this album a little more than I thought I would going into it. My highlights are March 14th, Sandra's Rose, Emotionless, and Jaded. And my lowlights are Nonstop, In My Feelings, and Ratchet Happy Birthday. Overall, Scorpion get a 6 out of 10.
Hey, me! It's sad that I know all the team.
For All the Dog marks Drake's 8th studio album. Yeah, that's it. It's his 8th studio album. I don't really have much to say about this one. A lot of the songs bring up the same kind of vibe, which makes sense. It's an album. But I mean, it's a very solid Drake album. I really do like a good chunk of the songs, and overall, it's a good album. My only thing is that it felt a bit long at times, and it's clear it's not peak Drake we are experiencing on this album. But that's okay. Oh, and Daylight could have been absolutely goated if Adonis didn't come on talking about some. Don't talk to my man like that. That shit was ass! I don't care if you 6, nigga, your daddy the 6th god. You should be goated by now. And you ruined the album cover. What? What is this?
So it's Daddy Go.
Daddy go.
Go? Daddy go? Nigga, this ain't a go. You can't draw or rap. You ruined this album. You ruined. Anyway, SZA was really good and bodied every song she was on. My highlights are First Person Shooter, 8 AM in Charlotte, Slime You Out, and Away From Home. And my lowlights are All the Parties, 7969 Santa, and Screw the World Interlude. Overall, 6.5 out of 10.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Until I.
Certified Lover Boy. Drake's 6th studio album, so you know it's gonna be a good one. Now, when this first came out, it had a lot of negative reviews. Drake haters and Drake fans alike had all been waiting 3 years since his last album, Scorpion. And when the album did finally drop, fans were underwhelmed, feeling like it really wasn't worth the wait and it just didn't tickle their fancy. However, I think all these people hating gotta go listen back, cause this album got some bangers. I mean, this nigga came out as a lesbian. This is innovation. Is your favorite rapper coming out as a lesbian? I don't think so. But on a real note, you cannot deny the fact that there are some genuinely good songs on here. If you've ever been heartbroken or felt lost in life, you can't tell me that you ain't shed a tear while listening to Yebba's Heartbreak. You just can't. And Champagne Poetry? The instrumental alone got me floating. Not to mention the bars he was spitting. And when it comes to bars in this album, there were times it felt like he was speaking to my soul. This nigga said them boys got no Khalees in their blood. If your whole heart wasn't in it, I know a piece of it was. Posted that pic you sent me, it wasn't recent enough. Sorry. That won't be the last time this happens in this video. Anyways, highlights are Yebba's Heartbreak and Champagne Poetry. And lowlights are Fountains and Girls Want Girls. 7 out of 10. Now, this next take is gonna ruffle a couple feathers. And some of my favorite Drake songs of all time are on this album. But it's gonna have to be if you're reading this is too late.
This is my favorite Drake album of all time. I'm unsubscribing.
No, I know. Calm down, everyone. Trust me, I can recognize the greatness within this album. And according to a lot of people, it's arguably his best project to date. I just think a lot of the earlier songs in the tracklist sound too similar and are repetitive. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, they're good songs. But I just think for me personally, that's what's stopping it from being higher on this list. Now, don't get me wrong. I was in Nirvana listening to 6 PM in New York, which is my favorite timestamp track to date. And I be in my shower crying while listening to Jungle. But it just isn't my absolute favorite Drake album. Still a goated album though. Drake, you the GOAT! My highlights include 6 PM in New York, Jungle, You and the Six, and Now and Forever. And my lowlights are Wednesday Night Interlude and Preach, which ain't even lowlights for real. They just were my favorite off this particular album. 8 out of 10.
And they treat me like a legend. Am I really this cold? I'm really too young to be feeling this old.
Thank Me Later, Drake's first studio album. And ooh, I love this album. I kept going back and forth trying to decide if this album should go above the next one. But it just had to go here because I got a special emotional connection to what's to come. That being said, this album slaps. You can hear the hunger in almost every bar he rapping. 09 to 2010, Drizzy was moving different. Fireworks makes you think. Karaoke make you drink. Over got you pouring shots until you and Tomorrow link. And this man was dropping bars. When he said Drake just stand for do right and kill everything, I gave the meanest stank face you have ever seen. What I'm trying to get at is this is just a great album and a great time capsule for where Drizzy was at this point in his career. Still getting established, but dropping absolute bangers. My highlights are Miss Me, Over, Thank Me Now, Fancy, The Resistance, Show Me a Good Time, and Up All Night. And you know what? Ain't no lowlights. 8.5 out of 10. Moving on.
Ask you what you need, you say guarantee.
Views. Oh, views. Drake's 4th studio album and best-selling to date. I don't care what no one's gotta say about this album. In my opinion, this is Drake's most underrated project, despite it being his most popular numbers-wise. I think people tend to overlook this album because when they think of it, all they see is One Dance, and Drake hitting this emote to Hotline Bling. However, the raw emotion on tracks like Summer's Over Interlude and Redemption, and the feel-good tracks like Too Good and Controller, rounded out with songs that remind me of If You Reading This Is Too Late Drake like Still Here in Pop Style, just create a great all-around good sounding album. Not to mention all the memories I have associated with this album that bump it up a little for me. For this album, my highlights are Feel No Ways, Redemption, Western Road Flows, Summer's Over Interlude, Views, and 9. And my lowlights are Grammys and With You. Overall, this album get an 8.5 out of 10.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole thing is.
Nothing Was the Same, Drake's third studio album, is so damn peak. Without a doubt, my favorite Drake album when it comes to rapping alone. For a good chunk of my experience being a Drake fan, this was hands down my favorite Drake album.
It's just too fire.
Tuscan Leather is my favorite Drake intro of all time. And for a while, Furthest Thing was my favorite Drake song of all time. Ooh, this album just so good. Every song you like, and then the next song you like, and then the next song you like, A, B, I got your CD, you get a E for effort? How is anyone else in the GOAT debate? My highlights are the entire damn track list. But my highest highlights are Tuscan Leather, Too Much, Pound Cake, and Furthest Thing. 9 out of 10. Incredible album. And finally, last but absolutely not least, second studio album, Drizzy Drake. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Take Care. This is peak Drake. If you made it this far into the video and you haven't listened to this album, either you're too busy writing a paragraph about how Kendrick Lamar is better, or you're a literal bot. Cause this album changes lives. That first listen to Marvin's Room after a breakup got you posted up like the main character. I mean, you know what they say, don't drink and drive. You might end up at your ex's house. And I mean, it's true. I have a restraining order on me right now. But this album is genuinely a classic within the realm of hip-hop. And solidified Drake as that guy. If I had a kid and they were a doctor who had a Nobel Peace Prize and bought me my dream house all by the age of 12, just to tell me they think Take Care is mid, they getting put up for adoption and beaten. In that order. My highlights are Marvin's Room, Look What You've Done, The Ride, and Headlines. And you already know there ain't no damn lowlights. This is the GOAT we talking about. 9.5 out of 10. Best Drake album. Argue with a wall. Or in the comments so I get engagement. Anyway, that concludes my official ranking of every Drake album as of whenever this video comes out. Here's my ranking for every song from each album if you care. Let me know what your favorite Drake song or album is in the comments. And please like and subscribe so I can, well, get monetized. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Drake is the GOAT. And
peace.
You got issues that I won't mention for now, cause we're falling apart. Passionate from miles away, passive with the things you say, passing up on my own.